Right, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and Backlash is just around the corner. Me and my co-host today, Danny, we're gonna preview the card for you, give you guys our thoughts on the build and how we think the matches are gonna go. Before we get into the card, though, there's been quite some big news in the wrestling world. WWE have released many superstars. Danny, can you tell us who they've released?
Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolin, Wolfgang, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne, Jakara Jackson, Ora Mensa, Javier Bernal, Danny Palmer, and Shotzi, whose contract finished, so they never renewed it.
I mean, I don't know why the IWC is making such a big deal of it because apart from like two people, Braun Strowman and Cora Jade, those are the only two of note. I think the rest are like fodder in
Well,
it.
I watch NXT quite regular, yeah. And from all the names I've mentioned, especially the NXT ones, Cora Jade, maybe Gigi Dolan, they're the only two that actually stand out. Cora Jade, I get why they released her. She's young and she's already torn her ACL twice. At such a young age, come on, that's this definitely gonna like halt your potential. Gigi Dolan, I think, was a good mid card woman at NXT. She's probably gonna join the main roster soon. I don't know why they released her. But from the men's side, Eddie Thorpe, not good. The Galish brothers who trained The Rock, not really good. From the main
Well,
roster,
Triple H released them on
or
purpose to get back at
definitely
the Rock.
people who say Triple H do not have us saying these are chatting nonsense. I'm telling you right now, Triple H had like saying all of these releases. Now from the main roster, the only one I was a bit surprised about was Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman because he's a good big guy to have, but I feel like they're getting Jeff Cobb now, and they've already got Bronson Reed. I think they've already got enough big men on their roster. Dakota Kai, she was very injury prone and she nearly fought it. I get that. Shayna Baszler wasn't doing much of chance. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance were good bodies in the tag division, but them belts are as useless as anything right now. But yeah, I'm not really fussed. It happens every year when the releases happen. RWC just lose their head no matter who gets released. They just make a big deal about it. It's you come and you work here, you get fired. It happens all the time. It doesn't matter. So I just think some of the outrage is fake, and I mean, I hope they get
Do
better jobs somewhere else. I think most of them will probably get
you know
jobs.
what it is? I feel like if you get released nowadays in 2025, it's not even that deep. There's so many
Yeah.
wrestling companies, and you can easily get back into WWE. Like, for example, look at TNA. They're basically working with WWE now. I can easily see them snap up like a Braun Strowman or a
Oh,
Cora Jade
facts.
even.
Yeah,
And they'll practically be back in WWE at some point.
exactly.
But if not, there's AEW as well. I'm sure Tony Khan's licking his lips right now. He's looking to sign some people from here. But yeah, so they've got rid of about 17, as you mentioned. I think they're making way for two big signings, and that's Jeff
Yeah,
Cobb and Mariah May from AEW.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, IWC, they do this all the time, man. The
yeah.
IWC acts so outraged all the time. You know, wrestling, for such a macho sport, it has such a
Oh,
soft
yeah.
fan base. I have to say. It's really funny,
It
innit?
is. Yeah.
But yeah, Triple H releasing Gallus is hilarious, man.
I
There's
know.
definitely a power struggle. There's definitely a bit of politics going on, man, between him and The Rock. And you know what? I'm here for it. I love it. I love a bit of drama. We need it in the wrestling industry, man.
Facts.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the.
As usual, RWC just making a big scene out of nothing. Honestly, it's not that deep. Most of them are decent wrestlers. They'll get jobs at other companies. Sometimes you're not good enough for the company. Out of the 17 names, probably Braun Strowman, I think, was the only guy who could do a job. Rest of them, not too fussed about. As you said, they're getting two major names in Mariah May, who's going to be a big star in the women's division, and Jeff Cobb, who's going to be like a Braun Strowman, a good body in the mid card division. So yeah, I'm not fussed about it, to be honest. Like when it happens, of course, you're a bit shocked. Like, oh, Braun Strowman, he's been there for ages. I mean, he did get released on the Vince, but then he came back and he's been a good body to have in the mid card division. But that, not really fussed by anyone else now.
Yeah, I agree with you. And let's get into the Backlash card then. We'll, we'll save the best to last. Yeah, well, let's kick things off with what I think is going to be the opening match. Fatal 4-way for the US title. Jacob Batu versus Damian Priest versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. I think this is going to be match of the
Oh
night. It's
yeah,
going to steal the show.
by far, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I think the build's been decent. I mean, to be fair, for most of the builds, there's only been 2 weeks, isn't it, since Mania, right?
Yeah, two
They've only
SmackDown
had
since
2 weeks
Mania.
to
Yeah.
build it. Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty decent build. Like, it's been kind of smart the way they done it. Um, yeah, it should be a good match, man. I'm not sure who retain. I don't know. I think the safe option is to say Jacob's retaining, but I don't know, man. I have a sneaky feeling Solo Sikoa is gonna cost Jacob the match, like directly or indirectly. Like he's gonna try help,
Mm.
and it leads to like Jacob getting taken out by someone and someone else getting the pin over someone. Like I don't know, Priest getting pinned by Drew or something. I don't know. What do you think, Danny?
I think Jacob retains. It's his first title defense. They will definitely have him retain. I think the solo Jacob storyline will be dragged out. Triple H does that with all his stories. I think they'll drag that out until at least SummerSlam, maybe even after that. On the first episode of SmackDown after Mania, when Solo was trying to take credit, you could see Jacob giving him that look like, no, I did all this, not you. So I think they did plant the seeds for something down the line. Drew, I think this is great for Drew to do something away from the, top scene for a bit. Same with Priest, they both had a match at Mania. Same with Jacob and Ellie. So just putting all them, probably the four of the best mid card workers on SmackDown in a match together, I think will definitely steal the show, be match of the night. And I can see Jacob probably pinning LA again. I don't think Drew will get pinned. Maybe Priest gets pinned. But bar that, Jacob pins LA, and then not sure what he does after that. But yeah, I think they definitely save the solo Jacob match for probably SummerSlam. I mean, we all thought going into Mania season that that was the direction they were heading for, probably WrestleMania. But Triple H loves to drag things out for no reason. So I think they're probably gonna do that at SummerSlam now. But yeah, I see Jacob retaining.
And do you think Jacob? So who do you think is going to be the babyface in this feud, and who do you think is going to be the heel?
That's interesting, because I think the crowd's behind Jacob and they probably make Jacob the babyface. I think he's more.
That's the thing with Solo. With Solo, I don't know where Solo Sokoa goes from here. Like, I really like Solo. I think he done a lot of good work with
Yeah.
like the fake tribal chief gimmick. It was really funny. I think he has really good potential to be a solid upper mid carder. Like even as a baby, I reckon he's got a good baby face running him. But as you said, Danny, it's just Jacob Fatu's just come in and just stole the show in it. Um, and yeah, I agree with you. He's red hot right now. The crowd love him. Jacob's got to be the face when they do feud. And yeah, I think that's a good match for SummerSlam for the US title. It doesn't really need the title to be honest.
That's what I think
But
Solo will probably cost Jacob before that. And then that will ignite the feud into SummerSlam.
that's what I'm saying. That if he is to do that, the perfect opportunity to do that is in this match because it's a fatal four way. Like Jacob
You
doesn't have
don't
to get
take the
pinned in
pin.
this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, Jacob hasn't been pinned yet, has he?
I can't recall. I don't think he has, no. I think he's probably
I don't
lost
think
a
he
match by
has.
disqualification, but nah, he's never been pinned.
Yeah, I mean, um, LA. What do you think? Where do you think LA Knight goes after this match?
Listen, shout out Harrison Amana. They're gonna probably push for LA Knight Money in the Bank because that pay per view's in 5 months. But I think he's just gonna be what he's been all his career, just a solid mid carder who might get a push here or there. Drew McIntyre makes sense. He's a heel. Yeah, I don't see what he's gonna do after this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a big LA Knight fan. I
Oh
think
yeah,
he's just
same
like he's just a cheap what's it called?
cosplay.
Charity act off the Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. Could do you think LA Knight could move to Raw?
I've been
Because the
saying that.
draft
I
is soon.
think he's been on SmackDown basically for like 3 years now, long time. So get him drafted to Raw and have some like fresh matchups. Chad Gable's on there. Could be a
They,
fun feud.
have they announced when the draft
Oh
is?
no, they've announced that a draft will take place. I think it probably be after Backlash. Not sure when else they could do it.
2025, the draft is flipping pointless. They all
Oh yeah,
flipping
you see each other.
crossover bands anyway, man.
Yeah.
It's like I think they need to drop the whole draft and
Ah yeah.
rosters thing, but they've got so many titles now. That's the problem in it, so they have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I reckon they could. Do you think TKO? I think TKO will do this, yeah, because we know TKO are money grabbing cunts. I reckon they might do a proper brand split and bring back branded pay per views
Oh my days,
like
them
Smack.
branded pay-per-views. I remember in 2016 we used to have a pay-per-view every 2 weeks, bro. Staying up for that was a
But
headache.
But low key though, with the amount of titles they have, they could do it. They could run it now.
TKO are the type of company to do that because they all about money and having a pay per view every 2 weeks, bro. That's the dream.
But they'll do well, I reckon,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's on everything's on Netflix now. They'll do well. It makes sense as well. They have so many titles. They've got like over 10 titles. It's crazy, isn't it?
yeah, mental.
And that way you can have every 2 weeks. Imagine you have a 5 match card. It kind of works out, but
Better
let's
than
not give
having
let's not give
better than having one 5 match card every month.
yeah, let's not give TKO any ideas. Do you think Drew and Priest are gonna carry on their feud after this match?
Nah, I think they'll probably be doing. I mean, maybe if they both cost each other, it makes sense for them to carry on. Maybe for another pay per view cycle. But I can see both of them being in the Money in the Bank match personally, which is like the next pay per view after this.
I'm trying to think what can Drew do for SummerSlam? He's not gonna win Money in the Bank. He won it last year.
What's a top name he hasn't really faced? Mm, can't think of much.
Drew in the ring.
King of the Ring, and then, but then who does he face? Because I can see them doing Seth VJ,
Jey
and
Uso.
I can see them doing Seth VJ and Cody Vicina as the two title matches.
I don't think we're getting Cody Cena, by the way, at SummerSlam. I reckon they're going to stretch it out to the end.
Really, you think that's gonna be Cena's last match?
I think we might get Cody. You're going to laugh. I think we're going to get Cody and Travis
No,
Scott
tag match. Yeah.
versus Cody and Bad Bunny at SummerSlam.
Well, that's
There's
gonna
two
close.
nights.
That's gonna close
They're
now
trying
one
to
year.
sell it. Night one, yeah. I've got word the final boss is working one of the nights on SummerSlam.
But yeah, man, I'm not really sure what
Um,
Drew does after this. I mean, I want him to be involved in like a big time feud, but he's faced everyone.
mm.
Yeah, not sure.
Is he on SmackDown or Raw?
Yeah, they had that. I don't. They were doing some kind of deals where they were having people all from Raw to SmackDown, and I think he's officially part of SmackDown now.
Interesting, interesting. Where could he go from here? I don't have a clue, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, let's move on then. This is a match that everyone's looking forward to: Gunter versus Pat
Oh
McAfee.
my god, bro! Listen, let me get started on this. Yeah, so the first Raw after Mania and the angle they did with Gunther, then he was just mad. He lost his belt. He came out. He threatened Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee stood up to Gunther. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is probably just making Gunther look extra strong. He probably needs it after tapping out to Jay. Then maybe like they suspended him off the TV for a few weeks. Then like let him come back as an absolute monster. He's lost nothing basically from losing to Jay. Then he chokes out Pat McAfee, and then the next week we get an angle on Raw. We're gonna hear from Pat. I was like, oh my days, I know exactly where this is going. This is building up to a Gunther v Pat McAfee match, bro. What does this do for Gunther? Keeping Gunther off TV for 2-3 weeks until after the pay per view would have done so much more. Listen, we all know how this match is gonna go. Well, I hope so. It's gonna be an absolute squash by Gunther. Yeah, it should be a 2 minute squash where he should just powerbomb him 3-4 times and then choke him out. That should be exactly how the match goes. But what's the point? Gunther does not need this. Pat McAfee, I beg you, stay on commentary, even off commentary, bro. You're an awful commentator. Yeah, this was absolutely nothing for none of them. I was just bamboozled they actually made this match. I was like, after the Raw after mini angle, I was like, wow, this is an amazing angle for Gunther. Yeah, give him so he back taking out one of the commentators. But then you want them to have a match, bro. I hate it.
And it's mind-boggling, in it, why they've gone for this. Gunter. Do you feel like Gunter's got heat backstage?
Oh, so they're doing it
I don't
out of
know,
pity.
man. I don't know, man. Because the way he walked off after Mania, yeah, it sounds like he looked pissed. He doesn't look happy.
Maybe, but I
I don't
think
know. Maybe
Triple H does love him though. Like he's one of Triple H's top guys. So I don't know. Maybe.
Loki, you know what? I have a sneaky feeling is gonna happen at Backlash. I reckon Gunter's gonna like absolutely destroy Pat McAfee, yeah. And after the match, he's gonna carry on beating him down, and then we're gonna get Mr. Bill Goldberg
And
come
that's
out
the match at
and
SummerSlam.
save
Gunther v Bill
and save
Goldberg.
Pat. Yep, and then we're gonna get Gunter Goldberg at SummerSlam.
Oh my
Box
days.
office, mate. Can't wait. Main event of night two.
Well, that's something the company will actually do.
Goldberg.
They'll bring because
Goldberg retirement match.
the thing is, Goldberg's actually been saying he wants one more match, and he's gonna have one match this year. And the best
It's at
opponent was
SummerSlam. Have they confirmed it? It's at
not confirmed,
SummerSlam
but he said
or
it himself. He goes, "I want one match in WWE this year." Gunther is the only viable option. I see Braun Baker, but he's busy with Seth now and Paul Heyman. So Gunther is the only viable option I see, and I can actually see the company doing that.
I mean, if Gunther retires Goldberg, it's good heat,
Oh yeah,
I'd say. Well, but does Goldberg have a lot of fans like that anyway? People will probably be
yeah.
happy.
They probably want to retire,
Oh yeah, speaking of Pat McAfee, I hate that guy. I can't
bro.
stand him. He's
Same,
so overrated,
unbearable.
and WWE stop. They need to stop forcing him down our throats. Stop trying to
Mm.
make him happen, man. We don't care. Lyra Valkyria
Lyra Valkyrie.
versus
Yeah.
Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title. What are your thoughts on this match, Danny?
I think Becky wins this. She gets the belt off Lyra, which I think they stressed this out. Having Lyra chase Becky, I think will do more for her than just beating Becky first time. I think this will be a feud that they stretch out until SummerSlam. So I do see Becky winning here. I like the heel turn angle on them. It would have been better at Mania, I suppose. No point just hot potatoing the belts. They did nothing. Having her team heel at Mania and then explaining her actions the next I think would have been better. And then they could have also explained that Becky took out Bailey. It would have been make more sense. But yeah, I can see Becky definitely winning here and having Lyra chase the belt back and running the rematch at SummerSlam and Lyra beating Becky, putting it over. I think that's the option that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Becky Lynch now, she's kind of done it all in it in
Yeah,
WWE. She's just like giving back, I'd say. Lyra's Irish as well, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna help get her over. I reckon Becky will be gone off because I feel like she's more like a part timer now
With
because obviously
Becky, I
she's a
think
mom.
when she has the perfect opportunity to come back, the perfect wrestlers to wrestle, that's the only time she'll come back. Like I
I
think
reckon
in
after this program can go away
Yeah,
for a bit.
like in 2023, I think she had a feud with Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. After that, she was gone for a bit. She came back for the Rhea Ripley WrestleMania match, and then she was gone for a bit. It seems to me like she probably deserves. For her, is like I'll come back when it's the right time. Then I'll disappear for a bit. Then I'll come back.
Do you think she could join Seth and Seth's stable, or
I don't think
you
she
think
needs
it's
it.
not needed?
Nah, she
Doesn't
doesn't
need
need
it.
it all.
They are gonna bring in a diva, or sorry, not a diva, a female wrestler. Um, yeah, it should probably be a younger talent.
Maybe Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne. Perez, yeah. Um, okay, this match hasn't been confirmed yet as we're recording this episode, but it's most likely going to be made on the upcoming Raw. Um, Jey Uso's first title defense will be against the Maverick Logan Paul. Oh, what do you think of this, Danny?
Bro, I hate everything about it. The thing is, I get why they're doing it because there's no other heels. You were saying before the Mania, when we're doing the Mania preview, that maybe a Gunther rematch could be for Jay.
Mm.
But I think get Gunther away from that now. There's no point him losing to Jay twice. I don't like this match. I mean, I get why they're doing it. I think this will probably be the worst match on the card. This is going to be worse than Randy VC by a mile. I think Logan
You think
exposed.
so?
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you right now. Logan Armenia against AJ Styles couldn't get a good match out. He's going to be in the ring with Jey Uso. He's going to have to lead a match. Logan leading a match, yeah, that guy's in ring psychology sucks. I think this will probably be the worst match of the night. I get why they're doing it. They want Jey Uso to have a nice little first defense, maybe the second defense and Money in the Bank, before dropping it to Seth at SummerSlam. But yeah, not a big fan of this match. Ball Logan Paul, I really can't see who else could have been in this. But they were teasing JV Sammy before Sammy got destroyed last week. They were saying Sammy might turn heel on Jay on the um, Raw after Mania. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the match. Don't care about it or just it's just a nice little match to get Jey Uso a title defense. Preferably when someone wins a title, the first title defense is meant to be against a former champion, a guy who's done it all. Like last year with Cody Rhodes, he got a match against AJ Styles. When Seth won it in 2019, he got a match against AJ Styles. You want someone who's experienced, who's done it all, who's a champion to get Jey Uso over. Logan Paul does absolutely nothing for him. Everyone's expecting him to retain, and it's gonna make both wrestlers look stupid. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this match.
I agree with you, Danny, but at the same time, I don't hate it that much. I feel like it's because it's a 2 week build in it, so you might as well put a throwaway match for
Yeah,
his first title defense. Be like, yeah, it would be a good match for Jay. Logan Paul's not very liked, is he? The
no,
fans don't really like Logan Paul. He's frustrating because like the guy is talented. Yeah, he can wrestle. I give him that. He's very athletic. He does like crazy moves and all that. But we've been saying that now for 2, 3 years now. Oh yeah, he's good in the ring. But what else?
yeah,
Like,
no in-ring psychology. He's
character.
not good on the mic.
People will say, "Oh, that's his character. He just plays a dickhead, arrogant
Nah,
dickhead who
man.
thinks he's." But like, it's such a overused gimmick.
Yeah,
Every heel does it. Like, but he's not even amazing at it as well. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like Logan Paul. He's another. I think he's another person that WWE are trying to shove down our throats and trying to force it with
yeah.
him. I, but I can also see them fucking putting the world title on Logan Paul soon as well. That's the
That's
problem.
crazy, bro, if they do that.
Because think about it, we're in the Netflix era. Look how they're bringing in celebrity like Travis Scott and all that.
Mm,
They're trying to make it as mainstream as possible. Obviously,
yeah.
Logan Paul's got a reality show now as well. Got his podcast. He's got one of the like most popular podcasts in the world. I can see it. The writing's on the wall, mate. I can see it happening. Like Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul for the WWE title at Mania. But yeah, Jey Uso. I don't know, man. If this is a stinker, yeah, I can't lie. Jey Uso's match record is not looking good
Yeah, man.
as a singles compare.
Facts.
Wow. You know, Jey Uso's quite sloppy in the ring as well. Like, he can't even carry Logan Paul to a good match. So
That's the
it'll be
thing.
an interesting
That's the
match.
thing I hate about this match. There's not a wrestler that you can say, okay, he's gonna carry this wrestler to a match. You have certain wrestlers in the company who I think can carry Jey Uso to a recent match. Two of Jey Uso's best matches being Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, I think, and even Gunther, one of the first ones. I think those are three of his best matches, and they're all against wrestlers who can lead a match. Logan Paul, I just don't see that. That's why I have no hope in this match.
I feel Logan Paul, Jey Uso. Do you see any scenario where they could do a shock swerve where Logan Paul wins the belt?
Oh no, I think Jey Uso is hot right now. Especially right now, they don't want him to lose. Especially to a Logan Paul who these people don't care about. I think he's gonna lose it to Seth Rollins. I think that's definitely the SummerSlam match. I don't see them doing it early. I think they're probably gonna give Jey Uso a nice 4 month reign until he eventually drops it.
Mm,
But yeah, man, I just not a fan of this match.
Jey Uso. Um, yeah, I think Jey Uso is going to retain and carry on. I don't know who he's going to face next. Maybe an AJ Styles. Maybe that could be a potential
Yeah.
avenue to go down. Sami Zayn, you mentioned it earlier. Sami Zayn. I don't think it's a wise decision to turn him heel because you just had Seth Rollins turn heel. Like,
Also on
in,
Raw, they absolutely battered Sami Zayn because he never joined Seth.
yeah,
Seth was saying to him, "Okay, you join me or just
it
move
wouldn't.
to SmackDown because I don't want
It
to
wouldn't.
get in your way." So I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they wrote off Sami Zayn for a bit, maybe bring him back to save Jey Uso when Seth's attacking him. But yeah, don't turn that guy heel. That guy is a babyface by heart. He's one of the best babyfaces your company's got.
And,
Don't turn him heel.
and you mentioned Royal Rumble next year is in Saudi. Like,
Oh
he's
yeah,
like the most logical
he's
option to win
destined
the
to win
Rumble.
that.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I really want to see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for a world title in the main event of WrestleMania. Hopefully that happens. If Owens can
Yeah,
get back from his injury. But it, next match we're going to talk about. I personally, or I wish the main event Cena Orton was happening at SummerSlam instead of Backlash. I would have had Cena versus Sami Zayn actually at Backlash. I reckon that could have been a
oh
solid
yeah.
match. Sami Zayn, your typical babyface, could have come out, cut a promo on Cena, interrupted him saying, "This is not you, John," blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Led to a quick little throwaway match. Because to me, John Cena versus Randy Orton deserves a proper build, man. 5, 6 weeks, it would have been the perfect SummerSlam main event, John Cena, Randy Orton for the last time. I don't know, man. It feels out of taste to just give it a 2 week build and throw it at Backlash. I get it's in his hometown, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they're wasting it on Backlash?
I think the build has definitely been super short. 3 weeks for Randy's and Cena's last match, I think, is way too short. Money in the Bank, which would have been like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, would have been a better place to do it. I don't think they want to do it at SummerSlam, the company. I would have done it at SummerSlam. I think that's fitting for Cena and Randy's, last match. And
Yeah.
they've
That's where
actually,
they've had all the most of their matches, isn't it?
yeah,
SummerSlam.
they've also labeled it one final, one last match, something like that. So having that backlash, I mean, I get exactly why they're doing it. It's Randy Orton's hometown. That's the only reason. I think they would have done it somewhere else if it wasn't Randy Orton's hometown. But Backlash, just take that international, man. Take that somewhere else and just give Randy Vicina maybe Survivor Series, Crown Jewel, just,
SummerSlam would have been perfect, bro. SummerSlam
yeah,
would have been perfect.
sometime down the line. I think they're all rushing in with it. I personally think this is going to be Randy Orton and John Cena's one of the better matches than they've had. I think Randy Orton, especially, he's much better in the ring than he has been for most of his career. That because normally he comes and he gets injured because he has a back injury and Vince doesn't let him recover. He's on the road 24/7, especially with this schedule. I've liked some of Randy Orton's matches. The two Gunther matches were amazing. I think this will probably be one of the better matches. My personal favorite was the Iron Man match. I really like that match.
What a match. That's I think that's the best Iron Man match I've watched. All right, there's
Probably, yeah.
been
That's amazing.
yeah. But with Cena and Orton, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a great match. I feel there's gonna be lots of near falls and a finisher fest, and I think we're gonna get a big like fake out. I think like Randy Orton's gonna win it, but then they're gonna do it like a thing where
Oh yeah,
they
one
have to
ball.
restart the match
Yeah.
over the technicality or something. I saw a suggestion earlier on Twitter saying Cena should do what Orton done like years ago. You know, when Orton
Slap the ref.
purposely got disqualified by
Yeah,
slapping the ref.
yeah, yeah.
That I can't lie, that would piss people off, but it would fit the whole "I'm gonna ruin wrestling" gimmick. It
That
would
would
be
get
jokes. It would
heat.
be
That would
jokes.
get unreal heat.
Imagine the last ever match ends in a DQ because Cena slapped the ref. It would be fucking hilarious, bro. Or they could do something. Is John? I don't even know. Is John Cena's dad still alive?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah, he is.
Imagine having Cena's dad like come out and like help John win a match. That would be hilarious, man. They should do something like that. Make
Also,
callbacks to their
there's
history.
no way this is ending clean, right? Like, it's definitely having shenanigans in. I don't think any of Cena's matches are going to end clean. Maybe the one against Punk will. I think just let him have a classic. But other, I think all of his matches are going to have run-ins and shenanigans. I'm not sure who can really run in this match, but I think they will. It's going to be overbooked, and we could see a few, shenanigans.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think Cena Orton one last time should have happened at SummerSlam. It's a
Yeah.
bit disappointing for me that it's being rushed. But you know what? The build. What did you think of that promo battle they had? I thought that was
I
amazing,
love that Bill. Last week, Cena's promo were amazing.
bro. That was so funny, bro. When he's like, "Oh, Randy's like, go have kids or something." He's like, "The reason I don't have kids because I've been
You
raising
guys.
yours for 25 years." And then he just started attacking a random dad, like, "Yeah, I'm better than you at your job." Bro, it was hilarious. I love the whiny Cena gimmick. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
same.
People are complaining about it online, like, oh, Cena's not scary enough, but bro, let it play out. He's just started his heel run. So I think people are flipping just too greedy, man. They want instant gratification. Like, let the storyline play out. He's been doing some amazing character work. Not even that, Randy Orton's been fucking amazing on the mic. Because his promo on SmackDown, wow.
Bro, I don't know
Randy still
what it is
got.
about Randy Orton, but his promos, bro, amazing. All of them. The energy
He's
he
always
has with
been
it,
amazing,
his
bro.
adrenaline, bro. I love his promos. One of the best.
Listen, Randy Orton, yeah, they need to utilize him a lot more than
Oh yeah.
Triple H has been doing since he's come back. Because you don't know whenever this, because obviously Randy Orton's got that back injury. You never know, bro. One more injury and he could be done. You need to use him while you still got him, bro. Stop wasting him on like irrelevant feuds and like. I'm happy he's in the main event scene right now, but I can see them after this. He's gonna go back to like the mid card and stuff. I don't know, man. Like I want better for Randy.
Do you
He
think
deserves it, but
at Backlash, Cody could accidentally cost Randy?
ooh, that could be a good scenario. But I think Cody's. Do you think Cody's gonna go on a long break?
Apparently, he's scheduled for a SmackDown in a few weeks, so no, he's not.
You could. That could be a potential. Yeah. But then if Cody comes back, do you think he's gonna go after Cena or?
I'm not sure, because what does Cody do in the time being on Drew? A feud
I
with
reckon
Drew would
maybe
be
Drew.
okay. Yeah, a feud with Drew because I don't think they
Yeah.
really feuded like that together. So maybe a feud until SummerSlam with them two would be fine. and then have him your tag match at SummerSlam or my stay singles match. I think one of them is definitely helping, bro. I think the tag match is looking most likely. Knowing this company, yeah, they're gonna have Travis Scott and Bad Bunny in the main event.
Yeah, I can see that happening, bro. It's how many views they're gonna bring in
Oh yeah.
Bad Bunny and Travis Scott wrestling each other on in a WWE pay-per-view.
I actually
But
like Bad Bunny, I think he's a good wrestler.
yeah, he's actually good, bro. His match with Damien
Oh
Priest
bro,
was
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but especially in the crowd, the Latino crowds and all that. But yeah, I feel like Cena Orton is gonna be overbooked. It's gonna be messy. It's gonna be like loads of near falls, loads of fake outs. I think it's gonna be classic. It could be their best match ever. I have a strong feeling it could be. But what's interesting about this match, yeah, is this is the first time in their careers where Cena's the heel and Orton's
Yep.
the face, right?
First time, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I think Orton even mentioned it in the promo, like we're in some bizarre world where I'm a good guy, you're a bad guy. Yeah, I reckon if they really want to go all out on the heel Cena run, they should have Cena do something despicable in this match to Randy Orton. Like I know I right at Randy for a bit, but they always do that. But I don't know,
Wait,
man.
is Randy's dad still alive?
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's passed. Actually, I don't know. Cowboy Bob. Not sure.
Let me
Let
have a
me
quick
go.
check if Randy's dad's alive.
Cowboy Bob. Or he's still alive.
Yeah.
But he's semi.
What about, bro, on the go home show next week on SmackDown? Just have John Cena hit him or put him in a submission. Bro, that I don't think I can do that because he's 74 years old. That's old. But, bro, that would give Cena crazy heat.
I'm telling you, get John Cena's dad in the crowd at Backlash, have him slap Randy or something, or help Cena win. That would be hilarious. But I mean, Cena Orton. It's just disappointing to me, innit, that it's happening with the 2 week build at Backlash. It's not enough for such a historic feud, arguably the greatest rivalry of all time. Like the generations before us, they grew up on Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Austin Rock. For our generation, us growing up, our definitive rivalry of our era was John Cena and Randy Orton. And I don't know, man. It feels a bit cheap to just put it on a Backlash, such a B pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was worthy of being a SummerSlam main event or Survivor Series, or even if this was like Cena's last match, I would have said yeah, perfect. But is what it is, I guess. I think they're building to Cody being Cena's last match. I don't want it to be, but that's what I think is gonna happen. I reckon Cena Orton at Backlash, and then they'll do Cena Punk at Money in the Bank because that's where they had their classic. And then after Money in the Bank, is it King of the? Apparently, there's no King of the Ring this year. I heard.
I think that, yeah, I've heard that they're not planning to do. I think there's a Saudi show between that, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to be King of the Ring, related. They do that
But
once.
you could see
They do that
they
once
could
every
do
few
Cena Sami
years.
Zayn
Yeah, they could.
at Saudi. They
I
could do
think they're
that.
going to do maybe Cena Cody at SummerSlam and then Cena AJ Styles at Clash in Paris.
Yeah. And then maybe if Jey Uso will probably lose the title, but then maybe even the Cena versus Jey Uso at some point as well.
Bro, who's gonna carry that match?
Yeah. Another thing I want to mention, yeah. Logan Paul. They're wasting this gimmick that they have. You already have this in a guy that's 10 times better in Grayson Waller.
Oh yeah,
Like,
man.
why they're not pushing
Oh
these?
yeah.
Like him and Austin Theory, yeah. These guys can be stars if they just push them correctly. Like, I don't get what they're doing. They're holding them back so much. Like, it boggles my
Listen,
mind. Grayson Waller has 10 times more charisma than Logan Paul. You know what I mean?
listen. Shout out to WrestleKick, Austin Theory fans. They've been calling for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to be split for the last 2 years, and they're still not doing it. I agree with you. I think Grayson Waller is amazing. I love that guy, especially as a heel. Put him in Logan Paul's role. I think he's as good as a wrestler as him. I've seen Grayson Waller have amazing matches. Jey Uso with Grayson Waller is a much better match for me than Jey Uso with Logan Paul. I'm sorry.
Exactly, bro. Grayson Waller, he should like guys like Grayson Waller, yeah, and Austin Theory. These are the sort of guys that you should be putting up against Cena even in his last run.
Yeah,
Build up a new star. But yeah, man, I think Austin Theory, like I see him as, for example, Seth Stables like Evolution, right? The new Evolution, like Bronze Batista, Seth is Triple H, Paul Heyman's like Ric Flair kind of. Like the perfect Randy Orton for them would be flipping Austin
Theory.
Theory, man.
Yeah,
Theory's so talented. He's still only 27. He still has loads of time ahead of him. I mean, Vince fought with him as a star. I don't know. Triple H, is he doing it to like downplay Vince's? I don't know what they're doing with Theory and Waller.
What Vince saw in Theory, I think, was 100% right. Theory is he's got a great talker. He's a good wrestler in the ring. He can play a good heel.
Great build.
Exactly. Everything you need in a
He's been
star.
working out since he was a kid, you know that.
My
That's
main
what's
issue
really
with it
happened.
was I think they pushed him too early. They gave him the briefcase and then they had him lose the briefcase to Seth in a US title match, which he didn't even win. It just made no sense to me. And then Vince were out of the company and they just put him together with Grayson Waller, and then both have been taking pins for the last year and a half. So yeah, man.
You know what it is though? Even if they want to keep them as a tag team, at least book them right, bro. They're better than being jobbers. Why are they treating them like
Yeah,
jobbers? They're
exactly.
100 times better than that. They're so entertaining on the mic. Like Grayson Waller's hilarious. I was watching his Celtic Warrior workout with Sheamus. It was really, really funny. Really, really interesting. I didn't know Grayson Waller's 35, you know. I thought he was young.
Oh yeah, he's old. Well, not old, but 35.
And
Yeah.
he's got a crazy story. He started off as like a gym teacher in Australia, like, and he was doing like part-time indie wrestling on the side. And then like he's like, I didn't even start working out and doing gym till I was like 26, 27. It's like crazy, crazy story, bro. But yeah, Grayson Waller, that's the type of guy I'd prefer to be in the main event
Over
scene than
Logan
a fucking
Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, facts.
Like Grayson Waller's better,
Do
man.
you
But
remember when Grayson Waller faced Edge on the SmackDown, and
yeah,
Edge
I was
even
gonna
gave him the
mention.
rope? He goes, "Alright." I mean, of course, Edge is not going to take a pin to Grayson Waller, is it? But still, that was a
Yeah,
fun match. And after that, they've done nothing with them all.
bro. Imagine Grayson Waller and Cody Rhodes. Like he'd roast Cody Rhodes so badly, bro. It'd be hilarious. But
I remember when he was in Scotland and he was just saying, "You guys stink, bro." Funny guy.
yeah, but he like Logan Paul tries to do that, innit? Like every state he goes to, he cusses their football team, but like it's forced, man. It's just not natural
Too
like
forced.
Grayson Waller would
Yeah.
have. But yeah, I mean, you thought there was gonna be a tag match. You thought there would be Seth and Braun versus Roman and Punk on this card, but it looks
Yeah,
like that's not
after
happening.
that first episode of Raw After Mania, I think they were building to that. News has come that Roman, surprise, surprise, is taking a break until Money in the Bank, which is where I think the match will happen. I think you run Seth and Braun be Punk and Roman at Money in the Bank, and then you run Seth Vijay at SummerSlam. I
I
think,
think I think Cena Punk's gonna happen at Money in the Bank.
yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Punk is taking a break. I think he's filming something right now. Maybe, yeah,
All,
maybe Punk we
all of them are, man. Even
Liv
Drew McIntyre
Morgan.
could be written off. Oh, Liv Morgan as well.
Bro,
They're all going Hollywood.
imagine they run this tag match at SummerSlam. That's something they do, That's something the company will do.
It's criminal. That's criminal if they do that. Roman, who could Roman? You think Roman Punk are gonna? I don't think they're gonna have a match. You know, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Roman Braun should be a match, but I don't know if that should be a SummerSlam match or Mania match.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I think Roman Seth will happen at Mania at some point, and after that, Roman's gonna do Jacob Fatu or something. That's it, and then he's done.
Do you think they'll run Punk v Rollins the third time over the belt?
Could do. They could do. That's a solid option because it's 1-1, right,
Yeah,
between them.
on the Netflix first episode of Netflix, Punk beat him, and then
Yeah,
Seth technically beat him because Roman dragged him out the cage.
yeah. I can see them doing that. To be honest. But yeah, Backlash. The build hasn't been amazing, but for 2 weeks, not really much they could do in it. So yeah, I mean, Cena Orton would be a great. I think it would be a very good match. I think it will take a lot of people by surprise about how good it is. And I think the Fatal 4-Way match is going to be match of the night
Oh yeah,
though for the US title. What do you think,
facts.
Danny?
I agree with you. I think that's going to be the best match on the pay-per-view. I'm not counting Gunther v Pat because I think that's gonna be a squash. Gunther's gonna squash him, but I do think the worst match, and we'll come back to this, yeah, when we're filming the review. But I do think JV Logan will be the worst match by a mile. I think Becky with Lara will be good. two good women workers. But Randy Vicina again, I think it'll be one of their better matches. And see JV Logan being the best match on the card.
Well, there you go. We'll see if any of our predictions come true when we film the review. But yeah, that's been Mission Podcast, the WWE 2025 Backlash Preview. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, get out the socials will be up there, and yeah, see you guys next time.